Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're kicking things off by looking into Lilium Solutions.
Right. They started up back in 2015, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. And they're really focused on building custom tech solutions, things to boost strategic processes for businesses.
Project-based research, software development, tailored stuff.
Exactly. They talk about their 360-degree project lifecycle services. The idea is delivering, premium solutions, top quality, customizable, modular.
And integrating with what companies already have in place. That integration piece is always critical.
Absolutely. And, the main thing we're digging into today is one of their key products, Portium.
Portium, okay.
They position it as their premium, revolutionary, secure remote access solution. Big words.
Yeah, revolutionary always catches the ear.
So our goal for this deep dive is really to unpack Portium, understand how it tackles the big challenges in secure IDM identity management and also proxy management.
Which are huge issues right now, especially for, pretty much any organization or library dealing with remote work, distributed teams.
You got it. The whole distributed work environment situation.
This is super relevant then. The shift to remote access has really put a massive spotlight on needing robust, secure solutions.
Totally. And we want to explore the specific, headaches organizations face. Securing access, making it reliable.
Managing users, handling proxies, it gets complicated fast.
And how Portium is supposed to be the comprehensive answer.
Okay, so problem, solution. And you mentioned it's a proprietary solution.
Yes. It will definitely get into why that matters, comparing it to maybe off-the-shelf options that might not be as flexible.
Right, the build versus buy, or rather custom build versus standard product argument. That's always an interesting angle.
So let's dive a bit deeper. What is Portium at its core?
Well, based on what you said, it sounds like a secure remote access platform specifically designed for these distributed setups.
Exactly. And they really push the all-in-one vendor solution aspect, prioritizing security, flexibility, and making it user-friendly.
All three are crucial. Security is obvious, flexibility is needed for different org structures, and user-friendly. Well, if people can't use it easily, adoption fails.
Right. The all-in-one part is interesting, too. Suggests maybe simplifying things for IT instead of juggling multiple tools.
Yeah, potentially reducing that vendor sprawl. Okay, so how does it work? What are the components?
It's built around three main interconnected modules. First, there's the Advanced User Authorization Matrix.
Okay, sounds technical. What does that involve?
It means things like custom user registration. So an organization can really tailor how people sign up.
So not just a generic form. They can define specific fields, rules.
Exactly. Plus sophisticated permission algorithms. So really fine-grained control over who gets access to what.
Granularity is key for security and compliance. Makes sense.
Secure handling of PII, personally identifiable information, is in there too, obviously. And a user-friendly interface for actually logging in remotely.
That custom registration is a big deal. Different places have different needs, different compliance rules, so that flexibility is vital.
For sure. And managing PII securely is just non-negotiable these days.
Absolutely table stakes. Okay, so that's Module 1, user authorization. What's next?
Module 2 is Proxy Server Services. This is about secure proxy routing. Super important with, all the cybersecurity threats out there.
Right. The proxy layer, how does it handle that?
Well, it can map lots of individual user IP addresses to one single personalized IP for the institution.
Oh, interesting. So like masking the individual IPs when accessing external resources.
Kind of, yeah. It simplifies how the institution looks to the outside and how it accesses things. It also does session tracking based on what the institution wants.
Session tracking for auditing, usage stats, that kind of thing.
Yep. And it aims to minimize the number of IP addresses needed overall, which can be practical. And of course, strong security protocols are built in.
Minimizing IP usage. Yeah, for large organizations, that could be a real cost or management benefit.
And importantly, it enables secure registration-based access to things like publisher portals or databases.
Okay, so controlled access to subscribed content. Crucial for libraries, research institutions.
Definitely. And there's an option to track user activity for stats, but they stress it respects GDPR.
That balance is critical, getting usage insights without violating privacy.
And they mention specifically that all usage of medical articles via proxium.org goes through this proxy.
So they can get specific stats on publisher website usage for, say, medical libraries?
Exactly. Plus, secure server-side password embedding.
Yeah.
Users don't see the actual passwords.
That's a big security plus. Reduces risk significantly. Okay, Module 2. Secure smart proxy. What's the third?
The third is the AI-powered portal. This is powered by Lilium's own AI platform called AI.Horizons.
Bringing AI into the mix. What does the AI do here?
It offers things like personalized data engagement, advanced ways to manage queries, and comprehensive reporting.
Personalized data, like surfacing relevant stuff for users automatically.
Seems like it. It also uses a research-based vectors database, their term for customized secure AI. And the AI learns user preferences over time.
A secure AI layer based on vector databases. That suggests maybe semantic search or more intelligent information retrieval, possibly tailored to the user. Interesting.
Yeah, it definitely hints at more advanced capabilities beyond just basic access.
AI and access management. That could be powerful for user experience and maybe even proactive security.
And beyond those three core modules, there are other features too, like intelligent proxy routing for better performance,
Optimizing the connections.
more granular permission controls, even finer than the main authorization matrix suggests.
Deeper control. Good.
Things like read replicas for distributed read operations.
So better performance under heavy load, spreading the read requests.
Right, and a multi-region active setup.
Okay. High availability and data consistency across different locations. Important for global orgs.
Exactly. High availability, good failover mechanisms to avoid downtime.
Resilience, redundancy. Check.
And it's all managed through a centralized system. One dashboard for the admins.
That centralized management piece is huge for IT teams. Simplifies oversight. Okay, so it sounds quite comprehensive, quite robust.
It does. Which brings us back to the problems it's trying to solve. Let's really zero in on those pain points organizations and libraries are facing today.
Yeah, because the context is everything. Why does a solution like this even need to exist?
Well, obviously, the big one is securely sharing and accessing data in these distributed environments across different locations, different devices. It's just inherently more complex.
Absolutely. Managing a large, spread out user base while keeping performance consistent, ensuring data is accurate everywhere, and maintaining tight security. It's a massive challenge.
It really is. And one specific point that came up in the materials we looked at was the need for a solution that actually integrates user management and proxy services.
Yes. Bringing them under one roof. Because often they're separate systems, right?
Exactly. And managing them separately can be inefficient, lead to gaps, potential security holes.
It creates silos. You might have inconsistent policies, more administrative work, a bigger attack surface. A unified approach makes a lot of sense there.
Think about like a hospital doctor needing access to medical journals from home. They're using their hospital login, their institutional subscription.
Right. Seamless but secure access from outside the hospital network.
Or a university researcher working remotely, needing to publish research, analyze data from various sources.
Accessing library databases, institutional repositories, collaboration platforms, all securely.
Or even a library consortium managing access for users across multiple different libraries or towns.
Yeah, multiple user groups, potentially different access rights, all needing reliable remote access through the consortium subscriptions. These scenarios highlight the complexity perfectly.
And then there's just the basic but difficult stuff. User registration, authentication, setting permissions really granularly.
Doing it all while sticking to data governance rules like GDPR or others, that's a huge operational load.
It really can be. Automating and centralizing that helps, but the underlying complexity remains.
Precisely. Onboarding, offboarding, role changes, ensuring compliance. It's constant work.
And the technical side, too. Making sure the proxy routing is secure against, increasingly sophisticated cyber threats.
So the threat landscape is always changing. Your proxy needs to keep up.
Plus, efficiently managing IP addresses, especially if you have thousands of remote users. You don't want to run out or have performance bottlenecks.
Resource management, yeah. And overarching all of that is just the fundamental need for strong security measures to protect sensitive data and stop unauthorized access.
Right, that's the baseline. So given all these challenges, let's talk about the benefits of going with Portium, this proprietary solution from Lilium. Why choose this over something else?
Well, one thing Lilium emphasizes is no vendor backdoor. They explicitly call out Lilium backdoor.
Right. That sounds like a direct appeal to organizations worried about, hidden access points or data privacy.
Exactly. It's a strong statement about data sovereignty and security. For organizations handling really sensitive data, that could be a major factor, complete control.
They also talk about multi-layer customized protection because they built it all in-house design, architecture, execution.
They argue it gives them more flexibility and agility.
Yeah.
They can tailor the security layers more specifically.
Makes sense. If you build it yourself, you know exactly how it works and how to adapt it.
Compared to an off-the-shelf box where you're limited by the vendor's roadmap and feature set, this in-house approach allows for quicker responses to new threats, perhaps more tailored security configurations.
And they position Portium as being future-proof and scalable, designed to grow with the organization.
That's always the promise, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the idea is long-term value, total control over features and data, plus that multi-layer security.
They even suggest it can enhance competitive advantage, and that it's flexible enough to integrate with other systems the organization might already use.
Scalability and integration are key for ROI. And yeah, if a custom solution fits your unique needs perfectly, maybe better than a generic one, you could argue that provides an edge.
Okay, let's get specific. The materials mention some concrete examples, especially for libraries, like customizable registration pages.
Yes, tailoring the sign-up form, defining fields names, mandatory optional, drop-down lists versus free text, really dialing in the data collection.
And verifying ID numbers if the institution wants, setting allowed values for fields.
That level of granularity during registration is really valuable, ensures you get the right info securely, and aligns with institutional processes.
The source also stressed independence from third parties for sensitive info.
Meaning the data flow is tightly controlled.
Yeah, sensitive traffic stays in defined areas, data encrypted at rest on the server.
Good practice. Minimizes exposure.
They use cloud servers approved by the institution, meeting standards like those from the Israel National Cyber Directorate. Unique encryption keys for each institution, too.
So adherence to recognized standards, plus cryptographic separation between tenants. That's strong. User tables isolated as well.
Yep, user tables and data kept separate.
That isolation is crucial in a multi-tenant environment.
And for libraries specifically, it mentioned getting full control over remote access, especially for medical articles via Proxium.org.
Right, which allows for those detailed usage statistics we talked about.
Exactly. And the secure server-side password embedding users never see the underlying publisher passwords.
Which is a huge security benefit. Prevents password leakage.
The system apparently also runs checks on publisher website functionality.
Proactive checks, like making sure the links and logins actually work.
Yeah, simulating user behavior to catch problems early and flag them for library admins.
That's useful. Avoids user frustration and ensures value from subscriptions.
Plus, it links user activity within the system, providing infrastructure for future analysis and intelligence capabilities.
Building a foundation for more advanced analytics down the road. Smart.
There were even more points. Accurate, long-term connection stats aligned with security guidelines.
Data for reporting and compliance.
Statistics on user activity on publisher sites, but still respecting privacy.
So aggregate or anonymized data on resource usage.
Seems like it. Knowing usage volume per publisher, interactively with graphs.
Visualizing the data for easier insights.
And finally, monitoring security and user activity constantly to spot anything unusual.
Proactive threat detection based on behavior. Okay, that's a comprehensive list of benefits stemming from that proprietary integrated approach.
It really paints a picture of a system designed for deep control, security, and analytics, particularly tailored for institutions like libraries.
Definitely sounds that way. The proactive checks, the server-side password embedding, the detailed but privacy-respecting stats, the isolation, these are features that directly address common pain points.
So let's try to bring it all together then. Portium seems to be positioned as this very complete, very secure solution for IDM and proxy management combined.
Yeah, especially for these complex distributed environments we keep talking about.
The key takeaways seem to be that customizability, the strong focus on security features like no backdoors, encryption, isolation, and the advantages of being a proprietary build.
Compared to potentially less flexible off-the-shelf alternatives, right? It appears tailored to tackle those specific pain points, integrating functions, securing remote access reliably, managing users granularly, handling proxies smartly.
It really addresses that need for a unified platform.
Exactly. The in-house development allows for that deep integration and control that might be harder to achieve stitching together separate products.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe for you listening. How could a solution like this, fully integrated, customizable, do more than just improve security and efficiency?
Right. Could it actually unlock new ways to use data for insights? Or improve how users engage with resources within your own organization or institution? It's an interesting question. If you're wrestling with managing remote access, maybe looking deeper into Lilium Solutions and Portium, seeing if that tailored, future-proof approach fits your needs.
Might be a very worthwhile step. The level of detail and customization they seem to offer suggests they've really thought about the complex challenges out there. It goes beyond basic access control.
For sure. Definitely something to consider if you're looking for that next level of control and security.